Welcome to The Wall. In today's video, we'll take a look at several divorce counselors profiting from other people's misery and how women hate other women who actually manage to keep their families together. Because in their world, if a woman is happy in her marriage, then she has betrayed the movement. Don't forget to contribute to the project by subscribing. We want to reach 150,000 subscribers, and with your help, we can make it happen. Share some of your wisdom and opinions in the comments. Let's get started.
It takes so much courage to end a marriage, to separate, to say the words, "I'm not happy." It takes so much freaking courage. And for all the people in your life that you think are wondering, thinking about you, just know that those of us who have walked in your path, we know you didn't wake up yesterday thinking, I think I'm going to ask for a divorce. It didn't just happen. It took years of you micromanaging, stuffing down your feelings, settling for less than, hoping things will get better, wishing if he'll ever change. Maybe decades. You didn't just wake up this weekend thinking, oh yeah, I think I'm going to change my whole life. Blow up my kids, move, untangle a family that's been woven together for years and years and years. I know you didn't just wake up and do this. And this is why having support through this process, for me, it was critical. I was not going to be able to get through it. I just wasn't. And I'm one of the stronger people I know. But you know what? Strong people know that they need support. Strong people know that they need some help in navigating the unknown, in navigating the most emotional and financial disruption you will ever have in your life at the same time. And that's why it's an honor to walk through this process with many of you, because I know you didn't just wake up wanting this. I know that this has been tearing at your heart for a very long time, and I do not take this work lightly. If and when you decide to seek support, whether it's with me or someone else, make sure they know how tender your heart is. Make sure they understand and respect the difficulty that this decision is and the weight that you carry around with you and have been carrying around with you for a very long time. If you're new to me, I'm Lisa Blaisdell. I am a midlife women's change and empowerment coach. And yes, I help brave women like you navigate the difficult, rocky waters of divorce. I help you take care of yourself, choose yourself, fall back in love with yourself so that you can get through this season, land on your feet, and have the most beautiful second chapter, because you deserve it.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Here we have another divorce coach, just one more getting rich off other people's misfortune. She says that it takes a lot of courage to end a marriage. Really? So now, the one who runs away from their relationship and destroys their home is the strongest person? That makes no sense. The strongest person is the one who holds the family together, who keeps it united, who navigates the rough patches without giving up. Not the one who ruins their entire family's life for selfish desires. And the worst part is that, many times, there's no abuse or infidelity. Just, I feel dissatisfied with the life I've built. But of course, in a capitalist country like this, everything is a business, even your misery. If they can sell you the idea that breaking your home apart is empowerment, trust me, they will.
The comment section under that video of hers was eye-opening, shall we say. Not only did they prove her point, but it was full of women getting angry with her for being a parent and a homemaker. It's like a new level of misogyny that we're seeing. You're not acting how I want women to behave, so I'm going to belittle you and mock you for it and tell you that you're wrong. Does this sound familiar? I called this years ago, and now it's just as clear as day. I don't know about anyone else, but my idea of feminism was for women to be whatever they wanted to be, whether it be a CEO of a company or a homemaker and a parent. I think they're both as good as long as you're making your own choice. Why are other women having a go at other women for making their own choice? I don't get it. And I'm not going to lie, I do find it quite ironic, because the same people who are behaving this way are exactly the same people who are complaining about men behaving the exact same way 100 years ago. Be them.
Feminism only fights for equality within its own sect. If a woman decides on her own that she wants to put her family first, she is immediately attacked. We see it clearly here. The same feminists who claim to fight for women's freedom are the first to insult and belittle a woman who chooses to be a housewife. Because if you don't follow the script, they will tear you down. The most ironic part is that they don't even know what they're fighting for anymore. Ask them what rights they don't have, and they won't be able to answer. They've simply turned hatred for men into their identity and want all women to do the same.
Something that men frequently don't understand when it comes to women leaving their marriage is why it took her so long. Because as I've talked about on here before and other content creators, it is a slow ride towards the end wherein a woman starts to dislike her husband more and more until it turns into hate, until it turns into a point where she just can't even stand to live in the same home with him. And eventually she files and she leaves. And I just heard a quote on here. The most dangerous man is the one that doesn't love you, but doesn't want to let you go. That's why it takes women so long to leave their marriage. Because while things are unraveling, and we are starving for connection, we're trying to make it work. And it is so apparent that he just doesn't love us, just doesn't like us, but then he'll do the bare minimum to make it seem like he's actually putting forth an effort. And he does it for a couple weeks and then things go right back to square one. And it's so hard to believe that's actually happening. So that's why it takes us so long to actually walk out that door. It's not because we're using men or because of any type of nefarious intention. It's because we genuinely do try our very best effort. It's just that we are with a husband that doesn't want to let us go, but also doesn't want to love us.
Stop it. Get some help.
If divorce laws were fair, many women would stay married, and many men would file for divorce. The problem is that they aren't fair. If a woman marries purely for financial gain, what's the difference between that and being a loveless wife who only stays until she gets what she wants? Men don't want to leave their marriages because the cost is enormous. If you separate, you should leave with what you worked for. But that's not how it works. You take 50% of his savings. You get custody of the kids. You kick him out of his own house. And then you move another man into the same home he paid for. This isn't a decision made out of love. It's a financial decision. That's why men almost never file for divorce. Because it's not just leaving a relationship, it's losing everything.
So what happens when it's too little, too late? When your partner finally starts stepping up in the relationship, but you've moved on, at least mentally and emotionally you have. One of the hardest parts about leaving a relationship is when your partner finally starts doing all of the things you needed, but by then you just don't feel the same anymore. You might find yourself thinking, oh, if only they had done this years ago. Or why now? Why not when I was fighting for us? Or am I giving up too soon? Or should I try harder now that they're changing? Here's the truth. Love isn't just about effort. It's about timing and consistency and emotional connection. If you've been checked out longer than you were ever truly happy, forcing yourself to stay isn't going to bring those feelings back. Guilt can be loud, but it shouldn't be the reason you stay. You are not responsible for someone else's delayed effort. And you don't owe them another chance if your heart is no longer in it. You deserve a love that feels alive, not one that just looks good on paper.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no.
Here we have a woman who has been through 3 divorces, telling you that you deserve a love that makes you feel alive. But those who go through life chasing only intense emotions end up alone because every relationship goes through 3 stages. The first stage is where everything feels perfect. The second is where the relationship is built. The third is where you face monotony, financial burdens, and the stress of maintaining a home. Women like this only want to live in the first stage. They are not wife material. And now she's a relationship coach? The only thing she truly knows is how to get divorced. It's ironic, but watch where many of these women end up in the next video.
Finally, my first time getting hit on in Home Depot.
Yay!
And he's not even attractive.
Ha! So, probably the last time you'll get hit on in Home Depot after this TikTok going viral.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong,
I know.
but I'm here all the time.
I don't get it. Me being a lady should have all these men being magnetized towards me so I can reject them and belittle them on TikTok. Why aren't they coming towards me? I can't figure it out.
So for all you people who are like, go to Home Depot, that's where all the men are. No, they're not.
Oh, believe me, they are. But women have spoken and they've told men not to approach them because it's considered as harassment, unless you find them attractive, and then it's wanted attention. But we don't know whether we're attractive or not, so we're not going to take that risk. So, in short, we don't bother. And to top it off, Home Depot is the worst place you can go looking for a man. Yes, there will be lots of men, but it's man stuff. They are going to be distracted about the things that they can build and make and do manly things. And sorry, you can walk by and you are not more important than building shelves on a Sunday. But there's a lesson to be learned here. You can stand around looking pretty and expect men to come towards you and have you reject them. Or you can acknowledge that men are now conforming and they're not going to even try it. So the only option that's left is ladies. It's the time of the woman. It's your turn to approach men. And you've got to learn to get rejected. If you want a man, you're going to have to go and get him. Because they're not coming to you anymore. They've been told not to. Ladies, rise up!
Wouldn't it have been easier to fight for your marriage? Because now we have a 45-year-old woman at Home Depot complaining that men don't approach her. This has to be a joke. Men got the message. If you want a partner, you'll have to make the first move and risk rejection. Because we're not playing the same game anymore. You're on the wall. And as we all know, the wall doesn't forgive. Now it's time to learn what men have known all their lives. If you want something, go after it. But of course, that was never part of the plan.
Women.
I'm glad you made it this far. So now the questions are for you. What do you think about divorce coaches? Have you ever come across a woman wandering around Home Depot? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the wall.